One of the biggest value propositions for blended learning, I think, is the way in which it enlarges access options for people that might not be traditional university students. This is a simple example of a program that I worked on years ago when I was in Manitoba. And there was a group that was a hairstyling college. And they found that a lot of the students that were most eager to enter the field were spouses of farmers. And generally these were females. And the reason they were interested is because in the winter months, when they weren't farming, they were able to take on a career, but they needed a flexible career because in the summer months, farming is quite often a full family business, so they were involved. So the difficulty for them, though, was that a lot of hairstyling colleges required that you attended in person for a period of time. So one individual developed this clever idea of basically an e-hair college. Now this scares a lot of people because we think something like hairstyling, how could you possibly learn that online or in a blended format? Anyways, it was accredited by the apprenticeship board and it was developed as a program. And suddenly you had individuals that previously wouldn't have access to this education, but because they could do a good portion of the education at a distance, they had residency requirements in studio time that they needed to spend. And for me, that was one of the examples of the value of blended learning, where they were able to develop a second career, and they were able to do it flexibly because their lifestyle was such that they couldn't address or couldn't be a traditional type of student. Now, this is especially true in, let's say, countries like Australia, which in many ways, setting aside the climate differences, but shares a geographic similarity. And so what that means is you have students in remote communities that maybe are tied to the community, taking care of family members or parents or whatever they're dealing with, that are fully capable of getting a degree or advancing their education, but their circumstance is such that they're not able to do that. And an education system that's diversified needs to reflect the needs of those kinds of students. So that's a big opportunity for them to take part of their course online or at a distance, and the balance of the course in person on campus, because both of those spaces produce different kinds of outcomes and different skills and attributes. What's most interesting, though, in a recent report that was done by the U.S. Department of Education, they looked at the equivalency of different modes of instruction, meaning in person, traditional classroom learning, exclusively online, or blended learning. And interestingly, they found that the highest performing approach to learning was the blended learning approach, because it addressed the best of those both the online and the face-to-face dimension of learning.